Hi, everybody. Gonna wait for a few people to get here. Okay, just going to adjust this a little bit. The light is right in my eyes. Did I make it public? I think I did. So let's see if anybody joins in. Wow, I look like I haven't slept. Hi, somebody made it in. Hi, welcome. Hi, everybody. Not sure who's here yet, but I wanted to talk a little bit tonight. Hi, Rita. Great to see you. Casey, hi. Yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the new normal as the days go by and as the restrictions seem to have an ever widening circle and makes it difficult. I know for some people, they find it really hard to be restricted in any way. They just need to feel that they can go out and do whatever they need to do. And that becomes harder and harder because places are closed, because, this whole thing about social distancing, I think that's going to be a phrase that we're going to talk about for a while. I think it makes it a little bit more difficult to try to figure out what to do and how to live your life. But I swear, I cannot equate the whole thing to this run on toilet paper. I really cannot. I think somebody had said, and it just really made me laugh, in one of the social media things I had seen somebody saying that, clearly this thing is here, and obviously, whatever it is, people are going to be having the runs because they're buying so much toilet paper. I just wonder now because I've seen in many of these social media platforms people showing photos of people having carts full of paper towels and toilet paper. As long as you can get chocolate ice cream, I'm with you, Rita. I actually was able to get more today thanks to my friend Ken. Um, I just, I'm beginning to wonder because I have been seeing toilet paper and paper towels being sold now on places where they obviously never would have been sold before at outrageous prices. And I thought when somebody declared a state of emergency that it was illegal to price gouge. I'm not sure how one polices that, but based upon something that I had read the other day, they were saying that um, Amazon, or was it eBay? I think it was Amazon, had taken down 1 million listings for products that was saying that they cured or they had an impact on the virus, which clearly is not the case. There is nothing as of this moment. So they took down a lot of listings. But I think I'm really very, very concerned for so many of us, and especially those of us who tend to feel more isolated anyway, to find things to do, to feel productive, to feel as if you have some control over your day. I told you the other day, I took a ride and went to the pond and just watched the geese in their freedom and oblivious to what's going on in the world and just enjoying their environment and then taking a ride. So that was really nice. For me also, because I have the ability to watch a movie in my car. If I want to go out of the house to watch a movie, I can do that. And it would be a little bit like the old days. I'm sure some of you remember the drive-in movies. Well, this is You need to get out in the fresh air. I agree. I think it's really important to spend some time out. I understand, at least locally, and I think it's really much wider, that restaurants are closed, places of business are closed. Every way of doing things is just different. There is the new normal, and that's it, and we just have to adjust to it. But to keep us from feeling really depressed, and to keep us from feeling hopeless or frightened or any of those things, I think we need to find things that give us pleasure or things that take our mind off anything. I know for me, I'm very, very lucky that I have a lot of interests. For me, I can get lost. I don't know how many of you can, but I can get lost on YouTube for hours and hours. I go from one thing to another because we all have those suggested videos that come into our feed. And mine, because of my interest, they go off in so many directions. Yeah, it really is wonderful, Rita, isn't it? Because it can take you outside of yourself. In the process, you can learn something. I saw something come out of the Mayo Clinic today. I know it is. It is very hard. I agree with you. It's very hard to wrap your mind around it. It's different. We've never lived through anything like this before. The only thing that I can think of that remotely well, I mean, I remember the scares that they had over the years with different viruses that that suddenly were on a horizon, but never anything like this where everything was closed down and the speed with which, hi, great to see you, Valley, the speed with which it just travels the world, because nowadays it's so easy. You know, you just need a few people on a plane. And I have to tell you, every time I hear of somebody I know getting on a plane to go somewhere, it makes me nervous for them. And I feel for all the people who work in the hospitals who are, it is, who are exposed to it on a daily basis. They have to protect themselves and they have to pray, and we have to pray for them. In California, in quarantine, mandatory lockdown, it is like a movie, Sonny. It takes me back to that movie on the beach. I think about that all the time now because I say, oh my God, was that uh, prescient for what's happening? It's scary stuff. Hi, Pat. Great to see you. I hope things are well with you. I just want us all to stay safe. I know certainly the population that is, the senior population, especially people who are compromised in any other way with any other health. Look at this, I'm touching my face. Never thought about touching my face before. I wash my hands 100 times a day. My hands feel like sandpaper because I do not put hand cream on when I wash my hands. And I should. I definitely should. But I think psychologically, the gross, I know. And I have to tell you, I was very lucky that a friend of mine went to the store today and I was able to have him pick up some things for me. But the shelves, I don't know if it's on this phone or the other. He sent me a picture of it. I think it's on the phone. Yeah, I don't think it's on here. Let me just take a quick look. He's he showed me, yeah, I think it's the other phone, a picture of what the shelves were like in some of the stores that he went into. I know, isn't that funny? It really is true. The more you try not to touch your face, the more you touch your face. And I never thought about it, but I feel like I need to sit on my hands, or like we do with babies where you put them in mittens, or, you, you have them tucked into those, I forgot what they're called, the things that are like straitjackets for the babies. Let me just take a look. I don't think it's on here. No, no, it's not. But he showed me a store, swaddling, thank you, you're right. Wear rubber gloves at home. He showed the shelves of a huge store, totally empty. And he was told that it's not that they don't have supplies, they have supplies coming in. But they told him, because he was asking when they make the deliveries, because then maybe to get an idea of when to go into the stores to be able to get the stuff. They told him that it really is impossible because as they're unloading the trucks, people are by the trucks. The minute they start to pull apart the paper towels and toilet paper, they're grabbing it, they never hit the shelves. That is scary, scary, because this thing does not look like it's going to end anytime soon. I mean, they were talking about, and I talked about this the other day, about the schools that have been closed for a few weeks. They're talking about them being closed for the duration. Valley, you went to CVS and the shelves. I know. There's absolutely nothing. Oh, that's great, Casey. They're letting seniors and pregnant shop the first hour. That is a wonderful idea. It really is. I think I suspect, as I say, that some of those people who were hoarding paper towels and toilet paper were doing it to sell at a very inflated price to other people. Now with so many things being sold online, one of the sites sent me a message that not to worry if I needed toilet paper, they had it available. And I think I might have mentioned this the other day, 72 rolls of toilet paper for $50. $50. Crazy. I mean, it's crazy. It's really the thing. It bothers me tremendously when people profit from other people's pain. I think there's something so inherently evil about that. You have a really good feel good story? I want to hear it, Denise. I'm sure we all do. And by the way, while Denise is getting ready to tell us the story, bidets are? Yes. Um, I'm trying to find a way for us all to communicate more with each other because I think in the weeks and possibly even months to come, bidets are beginning to set. Oh, gotcha. Right. Um, yeah, I think that in the days and weeks to come, if, oh, are you? He's on again? Yeah. And I know that the governor comes on all the time, as does our president, to let us know what is going on. All right, Denise is saying that our neighborhood has a Facebook page. One of our neighbors is owner of a Dairy Queen. I'm sure, Sonny, that they're being sold because of the crisis. It certainly is one alternative, but it's bad. I've heard now of people buying napkins just in case they need it. And, I said for me, I'd rather use tissues. They're softer, but it is amazing. It is amazing. Oh, you ordered the blue rug. Good, Sandy. I think you're going to be really happy with that. It's going to make a big difference because everything else you have is so muted and so, such a light, simple look. The pop of color is going to look great. Marla, hi. Oh, I'm sure living in an open space with trails is great. Yeah, he's bringing hamburger patties frozen. He's bringing 4 pounds. He won't take any money. Oh, that's a wonderful story, and that is a feel-good story. Yes. I think that that is really, really wonderful. There are some people who are doing good things, who are helping out. And I have to tell you, I uh I was doing something early this morning. Even your dogs are going crazy, I'm sure. This morning I was doing something around the house and I said, Lord knows I have a lot of things that I need to get done that are fine, but it is like anything else. Taking care of the older folks and anyone else is wonderful. And anybody who does those kinds of things, there was somebody on who is talking about the creators who were going to be in difficulty for the next period of time because many of them will not be able to make the kind of money that they need to survive or to be able to live in any kind of comfortable way. 100 new cases in the city. Yeah, it's amazing. I know somebody who works in a hospital on the island, and I heard they had their first death there. So it's a growing thing, and the social distancing hopefully will make some difference. Yes, the Amish Amish are lucky in the sense that they are isolated from so much else. So that would be a good thing for them. But it's we all have to figure it out. They have to close hair salons, send wigs. Yeah, everything. And the funny thing is, I was thinking that too. I said, my hair has gotten so long, it's really at the point where it's not even manageable anymore. And I said, now if I wanted to get my hair cut, I can't. There are so many things that I would have typically wanted to do. Um, it, it's, it's, all of it is worth it if it makes a difference and if it keeps us as a society healthier and able to combat this thing. And just I hope it goes faster than a lot of people seem to think that it will. I have no idea how long this is going to stay. The people 12 to 50 are finally going to learn how to do things right. Denise said that. So it's going to be challenging for all of us. But again, I think whatever it is that you need to do to keep busy, you can watch television. If you have Netflix, you can do that. There are so many good things on. And Amazon Prime, playing games, interacting with people, calling a friend, calling somebody you know who's older and might not have anybody to talk to. All of those things are going to be really helpful. I know that a lot of people who go out to eat all the time, the only option they seem to have at this point, yeah, I think, Sandy, that, yeah, that would be great if HBO, Netflix, and Showtime were free. Yeah, Sonny, I agree with you. I love the documentaries on Netflix also. They've also had some wonderful movies on lately. Sandy, you are bad. Um, but all of those things, I really have not been wearing gloves, or I don't have any masks. And of course, now getting a mask is the hardest thing. About filing our taxes, I'm not sure if there is a delay in place. I know there's a delay here for people who want to grieve their real estate taxes. Ordinarily, it was supposed to be, it needed to be filed, I believe, by the 3rd of April, something like that. But now it's going to go till the end of the month, and I don't have ice. Um, yeah, oh, good. If there is a delay, that's a good thing, and it should be, because there's so much going on that I think everybody needs to accommodate this new normal. If you get money back, file. Yeah. But everywhere they're saying that they don't have people to necessarily handle things. I'm astounded by the fact that my company, which is huge, is essentially on lockdown. They have very limited access to the offices at all. They had done this very deep cleaning, and 90 days, said Mnuchin, we just don't know. We just don't know. We need, it would be wonderful if we had that. As I say, I think people are recognizing the fact that they need to make accommodations. What I started to say before was that there was somebody in the, I don't remember if it was the reseller community or something like that, print, print, print more money, um, that they had money that they were going to allocate to help out people in that realm who are going to be really suffering from this. So they could make applications, and they were going to be giving out a certain amount of funds to a number of people, which I thought was great. So it's kind of a giving back. And yeah, it kind of makes me wonder about so many things. And I know this has nothing to do with that. I just did it again. I touched my face. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll take a look. I've been watching earlier in the day. Hi, Carol. I'm glad you're here. So we have to see what direction it takes. And if anybody learns anything, let's certainly share it with everybody else. But what I was trying to do is I'm trying to find a way for us all to actually talk to each other. Your mani petty girl is Chloe. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be suffering. I also wanted to go to the podiatrist. I don't know who's going to be open for what at any point. I really don't. We're going to see. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, um, they seem to be closing all the places where people can gather. So think of all the people who work in all those jobs. It's going to be tough for a lot of them. It's going to be tough for a lot of the waiters, waitresses, the people who work in all the restaurants. Um, yeah. What about Mary? Oh, yes. That was absolutely hilarious, Denise. I remember that movie very well. I laughed my butt off when I saw it in the movies all those years ago. That was a funny, funny movie. Yeah, I don't know why, but I also very well remember the scene where he's in the bathroom and having a problem with his zipper. It was a very funny movie. So I think if you can watch something that's funny, if you can just try to look at it a day at a time, I think it's an interesting thing. And I'm sure this is true for a lot of people, not only me. It was hilarious. I think when we don't necessarily mind being at home if we know that we don't have to be. It's kind of like being snowed in. I might really love to spend some time at home relaxing or doing whatever I feel like. But if you tell me I must stay home, I itch to go out. And I would guess that that's probably something that a lot of people suffer because it's hard to be. You know what the truth of it is, too? It's kind of like little kids. Some kids are good at entertaining themselves, and some are not. And some people are finding it really, really hard to stay home, to stay put. But there's no longer necessarily a place to go. So I said, for me, I have to tell you, I loved Sunday spending it that way, communing with nature. I'm going to do a regular video, maybe tomorrow if I can get it loaded, where I have little bits of my walk around the pond and seeing the geese and all of that. There is something so relaxing about it. Denise is saying her 33-year-old daughter finally stopped being pissed at the situation and has realized that she just can't go out anymore. Yeah, and I think that's it. I think we need to accept. I think we just need to accept it, and that's the hard part for a lot of people. You just have to say, okay, so what can I do to make the time pass productively if possible? Oh, yes. You heard in Queens food stores, 6 and 7:30 to shop. That would be wonderful. Yeah, I figured you meant drove in, Marla. Yeah, that's good. A lot of people do have the blessing of suddenly having the kids home visiting because they have this extra time now. So that there is a plus in that for everybody who misses their kids when they're away. And for me, my brother called me and checked in with me, and my son, and it's wonderful to know that you have that connection. Clean out closets. That's a really good thing to do. Carol, everything is just fine. Thanks. Um, Key Food Stop and Shop. Those are the ones. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful idea. If it's early in the morning, I'd never make it, but that's the way it is. Yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Your Christmas tree is still up? Oh, that's really funny. Marla was saying that the family's going to go crazy eating her cookie. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm going to start cooking. I got a whole thing of salmon again. I love that Aldi salmon. The convenience stores. I mean, here, I didn't go out today. I really didn't. I'm going to have to go out tomorrow because I sold something today and I'm going to have to mail it tomorrow. So that's kind of good for me that I have to do it. And then just take a little bit of a ride, maybe see if anything is open. Denise, if you play your cards right, you may just go segue right into next Christmas. Um, yeah, I don't know if anybody else has any suggestions for things to do to kind of just make it a little bit easier to get through this. I think, again, for me, I love to read. So even I have books, I have a nice kind of library of books. And I don't even mind picking up an old book that I loved and rereading it because from the vantage point of age and years since I've read it, it really can be different. So that can be something good. But truthfully, I have so much work to do here that I could really, yeah, the mayor needs the state to agree to lockdown because it's just the city people. Well, I mean, there's not a whole heck of a lot. They're limiting hours, libraries. Yeah, they really want to limit hours anywhere, any place that people can congregate. I mean, at first they were talking about having fewer than 500 people, then they were talking about 25 people, and now they're talking about there shouldn't be more than 10 people. One of the unlucky people who had to put on a respirator. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, that's a horrible thought, Marla. Marla was telling us that one of the unlucky people who had to be put on a respirator, and it scared the crap out of her because he said it was like drowning on dry land. That is a very terrifying thought. It sort of takes me back to the visions when they used to have those things that they would play. Remember when they had movie news in the movies before television, or before televisions were in every house. And they used to talk about the news. And I remember the terror of people on respirators because they had polio. The newsreel, yes. I even remember the voice, talking about not movie news, but the world news. And it was just seeing those people lying there on those tables, looking into a mirror and thinking that that was the life of that person is scary. I know, Denise. I heard that, and that is terrifying. In Italy, doctors are having to make a choice about who gets to live. That is a very, very frightening thought. It really is. From time to time, there are always things that come around. Is that the worst hit place? It's one of them, for sure. Carol, I'm going to gain weight too because I have to tell you, all I want is comfort food. It really is. People in the Iron Lung Valley, right? That's it. I hope the medical workers don't get sick. I really do. Making a choice based upon age is very scary. That's very scary. Yeah, that is a depressing one. I can't. I have to tell you, I remember when I was going through my whole medical thing and when I was talking to a lot of doctors and several doctors, and I had mentioned this a long time ago in one of my videos, there were several doctors who were saying things like, there are certain things that they don't rush to do on people of a certain age. And they mentioned something about when people reach, say, their early 70s or get into their middle 70s. And I had it whispered in my ear a couple of times from doctors who always felt that I was much younger, even though they had my age. You called Trader Joe's to see if they restocked? Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's really funny. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I had said today that I would love to know when Aldi's gets their um, deliveries in because I'd love to be there when they get it. But I guess that they should have a lottery system for getting the things that are missing. Hi, Patty. It's great to see you. Been a while. Um, what they should do is they should allow, and they are, a lot of the stores, or a number of the stores at least, at this point, are saying that they're going to limit to one or two of something. The bottom line that freaks me out, Denise says, is every country basically locking down. They're not doing it for a lark. Denise truly believes it's a bioweapon that by mistake or by intent got out of Wuhan. I hope not. I really hope not. Um, but why would they have had it there? I mean, that's a whole other discussion. Did you see on Facebook what people were buying? I saw that. Sandy, I saw that. And it got me absolutely hysterical. Yes. And yeah, they did say I think it was back in, I want to say it was in the 1960s, when there was a huge blackout on the whole northern on the East Coast. I think it was all the way up from, I know it was past Boston. I don't remember if it went up as far as Maine, but all the way down the eastern seaboard, everybody lost power. And there was talk about condoms versus ice cream, right? One has to get one's priorities straight. I guess we all have our own priorities. Um, the baby boomers, right? And what happened was, it was, that's very scary, Denise. But the, yeah, they did say that after that blackout, which terrified everybody, people were talking about the Russians were coming, and that Russia had done something to us. And it always makes me think of that old, I think it was the Rod Serling thing, where these Martians supposedly had come to Earth, and all these things started not working right. The electricity was off, people's cars wouldn't start, just little things had gone awry. And at the end of it, the one Martian turns to the other and he said, "Are we going to attack now?" And the other one, the leader, apparently had said, "We don't have to. They'll do it to themselves." And I think about that sometimes because I have heard that there have been fist fights in stores to get the last of anything, whether it be a Purell type thing or paper towels or toilet papers or whatever. That's funny. Yeah, it's a very scary thought. They are. That is very sad, Marla, that some of the students have been vandalizing and partying. You know, I think sometimes young people, or not even young people, sometimes people really don't take it seriously. They just don't. I know there's a lot of panicking going on everywhere. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thought of having a curfew, it's some scary stuff out there, what's happening in the world. Definitely not the first time. I know there were the stories about in World War, here I go again, touching my face. In World War II, exactly, when they would have the blackouts, I think, because they were worried about, I believe, they were worried about Japan bombing the United States, the different parts of the states, and that they would have blackouts. And everybody would turn their lights out, and it was really eerie because everything was pitch black. So I guess there have been things many times in history. We always have these challenges, but I think we need to find a way to rise up to meet it and to get through it the best way we can. Pray a lot. I definitely pray for everybody affected by it. It's I had an aunt many years ago who was a perfectly healthy person, and she was living down in Florida, and she just got the flu. She went into the hospital, but I guess, I don't know if it was the flu, it was some kind of bacterial. Carol's saying she's from Augusta, Georgia. They canceled the Masters. And Marla's saying, I'm just concerned mainly about getting food and my meds. I agree. Come to think of it, I need to get my Bistolic. I'm running very low. I really better take care of that and make sure it's available. I really need to check out with the pharmacy. I think I better do that tomorrow. You're right. You need to be able to get your meds. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's what they were saying, Patty. I think they were saying a lot of people can just be carriers of it. You were supposed to have cataract surgery? Oh, oh, wow. Yeah. They said masks don't help that much. Right. But it's probably still better than nothing. That is a terrifying thought. Then what? Then what? Stay the hell home. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I was being really complacent about this whole thing. I had better check and see what the story is. We have to deal with it as it comes. We just have to take it one day at a time, one step at a time. And as I say, we need a lot of prayers. I think as a nation, if we can rise up, it's gonna make a difference. Yeah. Yeah. The funny thing is, my doctor, my cardiologist had mentioned to me that I should look into possibly getting the meds from Canada, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to. If the sun ever comes out, you're laying out. Yeah, that sounds good. If the sun ever comes. Well, here it's actually been kind of nice. We had 1 or 2 cold days, but it's been really good. And spring is coming. What is it, Thursday? I know. I know. The vitamin D is important. So I think again we all are going to have to figure it out. Hopefully collectively we can make some difference, even if it's in 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people's lives. If each one of us can do that for a couple of people, it's a good start. Yeah. Yes, exactly. St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, I meant to wear that shirt that I had gotten. Oh, yeah, I know. The drops for the cataract thing is very expensive. I remember when Linda was getting, I think it was it $200 for the bottle or something? It was a crazy price. It really was. But he did give her another option that was less expensive ultimately because she told him she just wasn't going to get it. So, whatever it is, it worked for her. And she came through that surgery with no problem. So, that was good. And I know someone else who came through the surgery with a lot of difficulty and having a lot of glare and taking a long time to adjust to it. So, yeah, they had samples. That's a good thing. I remember when they used to have samples of all the medication. I am also thinking I probably should try to get my Bistolic instead of in the 2.5. I should probably try to get it in the 5 milligram because then I could cut it in half and have it last twice as long. The only problem is the pills are triangular in shape and very small, so trying to get an even cut might be difficult. But that's an idea. You had one done in New York. New York was better. I guess it's only as good as whoever the surgeon is doing it. As I say, when Linda had it done, she had really no problem whatsoever. The only difficulty she had afterwards, and she hated it, was that she needed glasses to read all of a sudden. Do you want to pay 1,500 or wait? Yeah, I mean, Rita, if you can get by, um, I don't think it's terrible to wait. It depends upon how much it affects your vision. I'm lucky so far. They did say I have cataracts, but I was told that it was not in my line of vision yet. And I was told that it might never be, so I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if they would have that now, Marla. She's asking if the local grocery stores have pickup service, and she's ordered food a week in advance, driven to the store, and parked in the designated spot. Yeah. I don't know right now because everything is so different. And from what I've heard, people who normally do one job in these stores, they're all now doing all the different jobs and trying to. Oh, you still have it, Marla? That's good. Yeah, I'm not sure what they have here. I'm really not. And I don't, it's a funny thing. Oh, yeah. It's a funny thing. The more that you know that things are not available, or at least for me, I feel as if I have this urge, almost an urgency to go to the supermarket. I really do. I ordinarily wouldn't do it, but what I started to say earlier was the guy came this morning to deliver my Meals on Wheels, and typically on Tuesday I never have the guy that I have on Friday, who is the sweetest man in the world. Safeway is hiring due to the current demand. I also heard that they were going to be hiring a lot of people to make deliveries, that they were hiring a lot of people because I guess all of the restaurants and food places where you can get things, they're going to have people delivering it to you. They're booked a week out. No, the salmon's not frozen. It's fresh salmon. Yeah. I'm still eating Meals on Wheels, yeah. And I'm grateful that I have it right now because it's certainly going to make a difference. There was talk about not having it anymore, but for now, I do. And during this time, it's certainly helpful because at least I know that there's something there, so I don't have to worry about that aspect of it. I may not find it particularly, I don't know how to put it. It there are days when it's not, it's barely edible, some of the stuff, but I have it, so I have something to eat, and that's a good thing. Yeah, I just, I'm trying to be kind in the way that I phrase it, but there are things about it. Yeah, I mean, it's Marla, it's not anything we would choose necessarily. You do what you have to do, but it definitely would not be my first choice. And I think I am going to have to start cooking more. And I want to cook things that will stay for days. It's there, exactly. It's there if I need it. And they do bring me, yes, absolutely. Because all the senior places, how could the senior places stay open? Because that's the most vulnerable population. How can they all gather there? It's a catch 22. They need it the most, but they can't really do it. So, but this sweetheart of a guy, his name is Billy, and I absolutely adore him. He showed up this morning, and he made my delivery, and he said he's the only one out. This is the first time though he was wearing a mask. So it's just even being out there, even not coming into the house, just handing the stuff over because they say this thing is so virulent that it's enormously contagious. Sandy's saying her daughter found an Italian lady that makes meals for people. So she ordered for Ben Gay 5 meals, $75 a week. Yeah. Yeah. Anything that can be done to make it easier is the way to go. It's going to be really hard for the people who don't have mobility. I know. Well, it's not, yeah. I'm really concerned also. I'm concerned also about who's cooking the food. You know, is somebody standing there cooking the food and sneezing or rubbing their nose because their nose is running and continuing to cook? It's kind of like, you know, I went for pizza last week and the guy had gloves on, but once he took the money and then he went to get another slice of pizza, he didn't change his gloves. So the money came from the person who knows how that's working out. That's a really nice thing, Sandy. I know there are other services where they have that and where you can order food, but who knows? Who knows what's going to be available? I'm not sure. We're gonna have to kind of wait and see how the whole thing plays out. So I don't know. But I think once again, the basic thing is that we really need to be here for each other. We need to support each other. We need to make each other feel better when we're feeling frightened or nervous or stir crazy or whatever it is. Yeah. I mean that's good, Denise. A lot of people don't but you do that stuff anyway on a you know, on a come on each night. I am definitely going to be coming on a lot more. First of all, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Oh yeah. You wear gloves then. Um Yeah, I'm going to be coming on more. I want to do it. I think it's important for all of us. I think we can help each other. So I'm going to do that. And I'm here. I'm really here. It'll be 45 days. Right. We don't know. They're trying to keep the curve down, is what they were saying. They had some, I don't remember if he was an epidemiologist on from 17 in Kentucky, from, oh my God, oh my God, the hospital, the very famous hospital. Right. Um, I can't think of the name of it. I'm having a senior moment. I had mentioned it earlier today. He was talking about, again, just trying to keep the curve down, that if we can have this social distancing, if we can do that, it's going to make a huge difference in the spread of it. There will be people who suffer from this. There will be people who suffer a lot from this, and there will be fatalities. But if we can keep the numbers down, the goal is to make it less painful. It's very scary. It's very scary, and we all need to take it seriously. And I think I don't know if I'm guilty of not buys time for ER. The Derby is canceled. I know. I know. I don't ever remember the Kentucky Derby being canceled. They're canceling everything. They're just canceling everything. But better that. Yeah. Every day I keep hearing, and I'm getting so many things now flooding. I'm sure we all are, flooding my feed on my phone about all the news that's coming through about all of these things that are changing on almost an hourly basis. Mm, your hairstylist is texting you. I just, as I say, I hope it's not as horrible as predictions might have it. So I think, I know the casinos in our area have closed. And yeah, how could you possibly police that? Exactly. Stay positive and stay home. That's it. That's what we have to do. And I agree with you, Denise. I wouldn't want to be president either because it's a tough time for all of them and trying to make the right decisions. Not an easy task. Okay, on that note, I think I'm going absolutely in prayer. I think if we can collectively pray about this, it really, I so believe in the power of prayer. Stay drunk, Denise says. I know it helped me enormously when I had so many of you praying for me back then. And believe it or not, it is now March, April, May. In a few months, it's going to be 2 years since my surgery. Isn't that amazing? 2 years. Um, the election in November, I don't think the election's going to be delayed. I really don't. Oh, thanks. Thanks. I put lipstick on just for you guys. I had eaten it off prior to that. We have time to meditate now. I actually, if you all have any, well, if any of you have any interest in that, that's something that we could try to do jointly as well, because I so believe in meditation. And it has been, I know, Patty, it has been a wonderful thing in my life. It has made a huge difference in my life. So maybe if we want to practice that a little bit as well, let me know if you have any interest. We can try that one day. Okay, so today is Tuesday. Um, can I come back tomorrow night? Yeah, I don't think there's any reason that I can't. So why don't we plan on tomorrow night? Oops. Nah, I don't think so, Denise. I think you'll make it. So I'm going to come on tomorrow night and let's just play it a day at a time, see how it goes. I'm not going to be able to do it every day, obviously, but I will do it as I can. And let's just do the best we can. If any of you decide that you want to try to get into a light kind of meditative state as a group, let me know. And we can do that one day. So take care, everybody. Have a good night, and we'll check in tomorrow. I love you all. I'm glad we were able to come here together, and we'll get through it. We will definitely get through it. Maybe even a little wiser for it. Certainly figuring out a way to make toilet paper. Pray the power doesn't go out. You're so right. Take care, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.